Hey guys, what's up? It's Greg. Here is a quick intro for Find Your Film. This installment are two interviews from Eric Holmes, co-host Eric Holmes. First up is an interview with Shinzô Katayama. He's the Japanese filmmaker behind this movie called Missing, also known as Sagasu. And if you can find Sagasu in your local theaters, please read up on it, and hopefully it's playing somewhere near you, because this right currently as we speak, this is my favorite film that I've seen so far in the year 2022. It's pretty much in a tie with Petite Maman, and they're right up there for my top two films. I don't know which one is going to be number one as of yet. Also, I just interviewed Kyle Gallner today. I forgot to mention Dinner in America is definitely a top 5, top 10. It's somewhere in my top 10 as well. I've got to think about some of the other Holy Spiders right up there as well. But anyways, Missing, aka Sagasu. It's 2 hours and 4 minutes. It's a very layered drama. It centers on us. If you haven't actually listened to our previous episode on Find Your Film regarding our last week's review of Missing, it's just very quickly centers on this young girl who wakes up to find her father, her irresponsible father, is actually missing from their respective domicile. And so she goes on a hunt to find out what happened to her father, leaving a trail. There's a trail of clues. The biggest clue is her father told her that he knew where the serial killer was. There's a serial killer within their area, and he knows who that person is and where to find him. And then so she knows that possibly her father is hunting down that serial killer, and maybe he's missing. Maybe he's a victim. Maybe, who knows what he is, where he is, but it may have to do with a killer. That's what I'm saying right now is actually more than we talked about regarding our review last week on Sagasu. But anyways, I'm not giving too much spoilers because a lot of these reviews mention the serial killer in their review of Missing. So again, that is, the first one is Eric Holmes' interview with Shinzô Katayama. He's also a co-writer in this film. Also, Halloween's over, but Bite Size Halloween is still available on Hulu. It's streaming on Hulu for season 3. I still have a whole bunch of interviews from Eric Holmes that he had with these filmmakers regarding Bite Size Halloween. For this installment, for Find Your Film, we have his interview with Ride or Die filmmakers Minsun Park and Teddy Tenenbaum. They are married and they are co-directors of the short, which actually, if I'm looking right now on Hulu, it's season 3, episode 21, Ride or Die. The plotline is, quote, "It's literally ride or die for newly licensed teen driver Gemma and her friends." It's only 7 minutes. Again, Bite Size Halloween, highly recommended by Eric Holmes. I don't even know if Bruce Purkey has seen these Bite Size shorts yet. I love what I've seen so far of it. Ride or Die is an interesting film because I don't really want to give too much away, except, well, licensed teen driver Gemma and her friends. It's a very eventful night, and this is Ride or Die. I don't even know if it's a one-off. It would work as a one-off, but it's a short that actually could be a continuation of something else. But I enjoyed it. I enjoyed Ride or Die. I also enjoyed Eric Holmes' interview with Minsun Park and Teddy Tenenbaum, as well as his interview with Missing filmmaker Shinzô Katayama. All right, so that is it. Also, very, very quickly, also before I go, just wanted to mention that for our Patreon, we at Find Your Film, we have not started our own Patreon, but if you want to support us, Bruce Purkey and Eric Holmes has jumped on board to the Cinematics Patreon. Cinematics is a podcast I do with Anderson Cowan. One of our Patreon features, our big Patreon features, is we have a bonus episode of Cinematics every month where Anderson and I spotlight a year of cinema. This month we're spotlighting the year 1989, and I'm picking the movie. I'm picking the Joel Schumacher film Cousins, and he's picking the film Gleaming the Cube starring Christian Slater, I believe. He also was thinking about doing UHF. But anyways, we do bonus episodes every month, me and Anderson, for Cinematics as for our Patreon members. I also curate some spoiler-driven material for movies that is only exclusive to the Patreon feed. So for this month, for example, I have spoiler material for Nocebo, a new horror thriller film, which I really enjoyed. I talked to Kyle Gallner today, and we actually talked about the ending of that awesome movie, Smile. So if you want to get some spoilerific exclusive content, check out our Cinematics Patreon feed. Look at the content that I've been putting up, Anderson's been putting up, and down the road, actually not even down the road, right around the corner, Eric Holmes and Bruce Purkey, they are brainstorming ideas of special features to bring to that Cinematics Patreon as well. All right. So keep your eyes and ears out for that Patreon service, because on my end, I'm all about giving spoilers to you guys, to cinephiles, to actually have these movies never die in a different way. Like I want things to actually live on by discussing the end of these movies, and hopefully that'll be a very good curation point for people who really love endings, listening to it, and just talking about endings of movies. And I want to grow that part of our Patreon universe again with the bonus episode. And I'm excited to see what Bruce and Eric have to bring to the table regarding that. But as far as Eric Holmes goes, he's bringing a lot to the table right now with these two interviews. Check him out. Check out The Short, Ride or Die, and definitely check out Missing. If you don't see Missing or Sagasu in your local theater, please hunt it out when it hits streaming and VOD. I will make sure for our weekly feeds, our weekly episodes, to keep on plugging away on Sagasu, because I want as many people to see this movie. The only barrier to entry is there are some really graphic scenes in this movie that'll really pretty heartbreaking stuff. All right, guys, listen to Eric. Bye.
All right, I'm here with the director of Missing, Shinzô Katayama, writer and director. Thank you for coming on.
ありがとうございます。よろしくお願いします。
Thank you very much.
So I really enjoyed this movie. It started off as a regular girl trying to find her dad, and her dad's going, he's not right mentally. And it goes in very different directions than a movie like this typically would. What was the inspiration for this particular story?
そうですね。僕が高校生の時に自分の父親がその当時逃亡してた連続殺人犯を電車の中で見たって言い始めて、僕は絶対嘘だと思ったんですけど、実際その犯人が捕まって、その足取りを調べたら、父親と同じ電車に乗ってて、実際その犯人だったんですけど、そういうこともあるもんだなと。そっから脚本を着想を得て、書き始めました。
So when I was a high school student, my father told me that he saw a serial killer in the train. And I didn't believe him at first, but after a few years, it turned out that he was caught, and it turned out that it was actually the same one that my father was saying. So then I realized that my father was telling the truth. So that was the inspiration. I thought, these things actually do happen, and that was the inspiration behind me writing the script.
Okay, that's interesting. Was the main character, was he inspired by your father as far as his character goes, or is that not at all? Like how your father actually was?
若干はそういうところはあります。
Yes, a little bit.
Okay. And also, I noticed, and maybe I'm looking too much into this, but I noticed there's like a lot of scenes, like really important scenes where there's litter present. The daughter throws down the missing signs and sets down a cup. Like there's litter throughout, but it's almost like they're leaving evidence. Is there any particular meaning to that, or am I just looking too much into it?
Litter as in garbage, you're saying?
Yeah, they're setting down garbage or throwing down litter, or like whenever there's a big part within the plot, it seems to focus on some sort of litter somewhere in the scene.
そうですね。そこまで自分としては意識してはいないんですけど、そういうゴミとか、そういうなんでしょうね、汚いものはものすごく好きなので、自分の映画にはよく取り入れている要素の一つではあります。
So I didn't really do this intentionally, but I do like garbage and litter and those kind of types of things, and I like putting them in the film, and so therefore I do like doing that.
Also, without getting too much into spoilers, the final scene of the father and daughter playing ping pong, and they play it for a while. And then at one point they're playing and there's no ping pong ball there. I just really like that scene, and I'm trying to piece it together in my head. What does that represent to you?
最後の卓球玉がないのは、その二人の関係性の中で、 もしかしたら、もうその玉っていうのは、その親子の中のコミュニケーションというか、そういうものの、そのつながりみたいなものの象徴だったりするんですけど、それが最後、もう消失してしまってなくなったと。で、もともとそれがあったのかどうかさえわからない。そういうようなことを表現したかったです。
So with regards to the ping pong ball not being there, this represents a lot of things. For example, it could represent the relationship between the father and daughter. It can also represent a communication and how they're bonded. So when it goes away, it could mean that actually went away, or you can also think, was it there in the first place? So that's kind of what I wanted to express in that scene.
Oh, wow. It broke my heart.
すごく悲しいです。
Oh, geez. So I've also noticed that you've worked with Bong Joon-ho in Mother and the short segment of Tokyo. And he does like a lot of really tiny details in his movies. And I see that with yours, at least with Missing, you have a lot of detail in there too. I've watched it twice, and the second time watching, I'm starting to pick up little things. And I imagine watching the third, fourth, and fifth time, it almost becomes a new movie every time I watch it.
そうですね。ありがとうございます。本当にいろんな要素をこう詰め込んで、時間の流れも少し、行ったり来たり戻ったりするので、本当に2回3回見てもらって答え合わせしてもらえるように作った映画なので、すごくありがたいです。
Yes, thank you very much. So I put a lot of elements in it and like the details that you mentioned. Also timelines come and go, so you have various timelines in it too. So I would really hope that when you see it multiple times, then you'll kind of be able to get the answers through that.
Speaking of seeing multiple times, we talked about seeing multiple times. I want to talk about seeing it just once. I saw you have a movie called Siblings of the Cape, and I've been looking for that. And as much as I love Missing, it makes me want to go back and watch all your stuff. Do you know of anywhere if Siblings of the Cape will be available in America?
どうやって見る？そうですね。リンクを誰かに見れるんですか？
アメリカは、美咲の兄弟は、
アメリカはね、まだリリースしてないみたいなので、リリースをお待ちください。
So it hasn't been released in the US yet. So once it's released, you'll be able to watch it.
Oh, I hope that soon.
早くリリースされることを願っています。
Also, what else do you have coming out? Because I can't tell you how much I love this and how much I love your work. It looks like you got A Life of Mariko in Kabukicho. Is that correct?
I'm sorry. What are you?
It's on his IMDb page. It's the American title looks like Life of Mariko in Kabukicho, but I don't know what the original title would be.
Kabukicho, はい。
歌舞伎町ですね。歌舞伎町マリコが見えたんですけれども、まあそういったものも含めて今、携われている作品について教えてください。
そうですね。探偵マリコの映画は、多分、日本で来年公開する、映画なので、アメリカの方でいつ公開するかちょっとわからないんですけれども、それ以外に、ディズニープラスで12月の28日からガンニバルというドラマが、配信されるので、それも合わせて見てもらえばなと思ってます。
So with regards to Life American Kabukicho, this will be released in Japan next year. I'm not sure when or if it will be released in the US. Also, Gannibal, this will be on Disney Plus and it will be released on December 28th.
Okay. I guess one last question, and it kind of goes with us kind of trying to communicate titles of movies. The original title for Missing is Sagasu. Is that correct?
日本名は探すですね、ミッシングの。
はい、はい。
Yes.
And Sagasu translates to seek. Is that also correct?
で、探すっていうのは、英語では、探すっていう意味ですね。seek っていう、missing ではなく seek っていう。
はいはい。そうですね。
Well, I guess the question is there why not just release missing as Sagasu? Because like we get a lot of international features, at least here in America. I think the original title has a kind of poetic beauty to it, even in its original language. So, yeah, I don't know. It's just a bad question, I guess. But why not just keep it as the original title?
探すという、日本語でそのままなぜ探すという題名でされなかったんでしょうが、その言語、オリジナル言語って非常に美しい、詩的な響きがあると思うんですけれども、探すを探すとそのままされてもよかったのかと思うんですけれど、何か理由はあるのでしょうか？
確かにいいアイディアですね。
I think that's a great idea.
All right. I will call it Sagasu from here on out.
私は探していきます、これから。
探すというふうに宣伝してください。
Yes, please PR it, promote it as 探す。
I will do. Thank you very much for joining me today. And it was a pleasure watching your movie, as dark as it was. And I look forward to seeing everything you do. And yeah, thanks again for talking with me today.
本日お時間ありがとうございます。もう本当に監督ファンになりまして、非常にダークではあったんですけれども、素晴らしい作品で、他の作品を見るのも楽しみにしております。
Thank you.
And it's Minsun Park in Tenenbaum?
Correct.
Yeah, exactly.
Nice
okay.
How's it going?
Oh, it's going great. I saw they were like 2 minutes behind. I'm like, cool, I'll get to eat. And then it popped out. I'm like, nope.
You can eat while we talk if
totally
you want.
Fine. You gotta eat.
Nah, no one needs to hear me chew. Besides, I got must be done anyway. But yeah, Minsun Park and Tenenbaum, thank you for joining me. And you guys are ride or die. I'm glad to see both of you alive, and I'll leave it up to anyone that watches it to decode that. How do you guys come across the bite-sized Halloween?
I guess they came across us.
Yeah.
20th Digital is very good about, scouting, I think, local film festivals and like international film festivals, actually. And they approached us to pitch to them some ideas that we had.
Yeah, we had a film on the circuit last year called Koreatown Ghost Story. And we know that they saw that and talked to us.
Yeah, I saw that with Margaret Cho.
Yeah.
And yeah, that was pretty... very frantic. Between that with the acupuncture needles and this one, I believe it's called the Tychophobia. The holes.
The holes, yeah.
Is that something you guys are just familiar with, or is that just something one of you have? Because I don't have that myself, but 2 years ago I've heard of it for the first time, and then I've saw it kind of pop up.
Yeah, I definitely have. I'm on the spectrum for that for sure. To the point where and it gets worse with age. It's weird, but I noticed lotus seed pods. We were at Huntington Gardens, and my son held up this lotus seed pod with all these holes, and we both went, and I realized, wow, a new fear unlocked. Got it.
Yeah. Mine's flying piranhas, so I can't watch the James Cameron movie.
Yeah. Two of them. I think that we always try to find one moment in something we're doing that really kind of taps into a fear.
A primal fear.
Yeah. And usually it has to do with the body, whether it's losing a part of your skin or, holes opening up or whatever it is. I think that, we're not gore, we don't want to do a full movie of gore. But I think a moment or two of it can be very shocking in a horror movie and, get your audience's juices flowing.
Yeah. And what's it like for you two working together? Because I work together a lot, and you're in the same place. So I'm assuming you're together, or is that bold?
We're married. We're married with kids. Yeah.
Usually a bad idea to assume, but I just did. So here we are.
It's like marriage. It's takes a lot of compromise, and I think it's challenging, but also it's good in that we know each other extremely well. So it's left hemisphere, right hemisphere, brain, and they're often not agreeing, which also happens in real life. But what would you say?
Yeah, I love, for me, it's great because we worked separately for a long time. And I was always working in film and television, and Minsun was working in different writing mediums. But for me, my work has just only gotten a lot better because she's better than I am. So working together is a full benefit. But yeah, it's definitely hard because if you don't agree, you have to work towards finding something that you agree on.
But I think the process of trying to come to an agreement makes the work better because we're both trying to improve on each other's ideas until we come to a compromise. And the compromise is usually something that we wouldn't have thought of on our own. So yeah.
Yeah, I don't know if it makes any difference or even if it's that interesting, but as it's harder when you're writing than it is when you're directing, at least for us, because the writing is the creation of it and trying to come up with every single detail of the story is where you can have a lot of disagreement and try to find the best thing. But once you get to the set, the story cold. So it's more collaborative. It's more agreeing and just taking, doing what you can together to make to take that blueprint and make it into a house when you're on the set.
Now, what is the process of writing together like? I imagine a couple of scenarios, maybe one of you just have a wild hair, like, I've got to write this here. What do you think? Oh, yeah, let me come in and blah, blah, blah. Or do you guys always go into it together at the same time? Or how do you trade jobs on that? Because writing's definitely like only one person can type on a keyboard at one time.
Yeah, we've just discovered a system. First, it's agreeing on the idea. So usually we're pitching to each other constantly. I heard about this. What do you think about that? And then we find something we're both excited about. And then we have to hammer it out together. And that's the most painful, is hammering out all the beats of the story. And if it's like a long form script, the feature script, then that's definitely the most tedious part. But once we get that outline, that beat sheet out, and it has to be meticulously detailed, then we divide it up into pages and say, you write this page, you write this page. And then we trade. And then we, rewrite each other. That's basically how it works.
What do you guys have coming up? I see that I always say I see this on IMDb, and it's usually like, no, that's never coming out, or that came out like 3 years ago, or any number of things. So if I'm wrong, I blame IMDb 100% of the time. But it looks like it's something side piece. Or it's actually, I thought I did see that one already came out, but
yeah, that one did. That was our first short that we hit the festival circuit with.
Okay.
But Koreatown Ghost Story was purchased by a studio to be made into a feature. So that's potentially the next thing. We've been writing a full feature length script of that from just a 15-minute short. But we're also we're working with producers on a TV series idea. So that might be next. So probably one of those two.
With Koreatown Ghost Stories, would Margaret Cho be coming back for that, or is that like depending on scheduling and all that?
Yeah, depending on scheduling. But she's, legally, we worked it out so that if scheduling is available, she's also an executive producer.
Yeah,
so she's involved in some way.
She's involved no matter what. But we want her to be in the film, and if she can, I think it would be a priority for her.
Yeah, and also. Have you got to see any of the other shorts within the Bite Size Halloween this year yet? Mm-hmm. What are some highlights for you guys?
Well, we've watched the first 7 and we're watching some every night. They're all amazing. Yeah. Frankly, I think the quality is incredible. I think my personal favorite of the first 7 is Inzu or Nizu. Yeah. I'm not sure exactly what.
Yeah, I'm not sure how it's pronounced either, but that one really kind of blew me away.
Yeah, we just fanboyed all over that.
Yeah. I figure you pick one that I've seen so far because I still got more of these to do tomorrow, and I think that's in that. Maybe we'll check. But
that said, in the first 7, there are others that will end up being favorites of ours too.
Oh yeah. What do you suppose the secret is curating something like this? Because like I said, I haven't seen all of them. I've seen most of them at this point, and by tomorrow I will have seen all of them. But they've all been bangers, and that's not something you usually see in a anthology. Usually there's like the 1 or 2 good ones and then like the couple bad ones, but I've not come across a bad one yet.
Yeah, I don't know how 20th.
Yeah, you'd have to ask them.
Does it? I don't know I don't know what their secret sauce is, but I think what I've understood so far is they are very meticulous, and they are also very into the whole. They walk the walk about diversity and inclusion. And I think having diverse stories is also very important to seeing things that you haven't seen before, that fresh or new and interesting perspectives. So I think that has a lot to do with what you're seeing as being really, stunning.
Yeah. I suppose that's the case. Doing what I do, I usually watch like hundreds of movies a year. And then so anytime we see something just weird or different pop up, I'm like, oh, hey, what do we got here?
Yeah. And horror can get repetitive too.
Right.
Yeah. Don't see the tryptophobia, and I'm sure I butchered that word. The whole sphere.
We don't. That's why we did it. We rarely see it, and we were shocked. We had never seen, maybe once had we ever seen acupuncture horror. Mm-hmm. So we think that's right for
you figure a lot of people have fear of needles. You'd think you'd see a lot more of that, but you really don't.
Surprising, but I think
we don't. But
because I don't think it's like acupuncture all the time. But I know a lot of friends will not do it because they just don't like the idea of being needled. I thought, that's a new fear unlocked for a lot of people. And that's what got us thinking about that.
Yeah. Well, I really enjoyed your short, and thank you for taking the time with me. Where would someone be able to find a lot of your past short films besides this one?
Well, you can't do it with Koreatown Ghost Story.
Yeah, Koreatown Ghost Story, because it's owned by another studio right now, isn't available. Okay. So, I mean, Side Piece, we don't, it actually, one of the festivals picked it up for actual film distribution. So they have a best of, and they put ours with about 5 others, and it's touring the country right now. I just don't happen to know where or when.
All right. Well, anyway, thank you for taking the time, and looking forward to seeing more from you guys. Congratulations on a wonderful short.
Thanks.
Thank
it was great meeting you.
It's nice meeting you.
Yeah.